Hi, everybody. We're back with another episode of El Caile podcast. And today we have our friend Imix here.
Mucho gusto.
And we have a full studio audience today, which we haven't had in a long time, but everybody's here. So, Imix, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I don't really know you.
Yeah, no, not too much.
So introduce yourself and then tell me where you came from. I know you're Jay's friend, but I'm like, este muchacho, ¿dónde lo sacaron?
A veces me ven en todos lados, a veces no me ven.
A veces no se ve para nada.
Sí. So, mi nombre es Imix, Francisco Imix Durán, to be exact, but that's my middle name. And that's like my artist name. Mm-hmm. Y pues nací en San Francisco, California, pero radico en Oakland, lo que es Oakland ahorita, and yeah, just been grooving, enjoying the city life.
How'd you meet Jay?
Jay, nos conocimos por social media and through mutuals.
Computer love.
Yeah. I seen him like type in. I was like, "What's up?" Nah,
you guys are sexting. Compas. No, just kidding. I just kidding.
He has compas, and they were doing their thing. They were doing their thing, and pues ya estaban aquí, you know. And I was like, "Yo, that's sick." And I remember they did a get together y no fui.
Y tampoco fuiste al release party. Let's get on him. No ha ido a nada.
For it. I'm listening.
He's like, lay it on me.
I didn't go. I'm sorry. Yeah. El trabajo, lo que es la vida, you know.
¿Y qué haces, pues? ¿Qué haces para trabajar?
Durante muchos años, pues la música. Todavía sigo en la música right now. Como están las economías y las carreras de caras, pues trabajo en Uber de vez en cuando y le damos de todo. Pero my main focus, work is privadas and like singing. I write corridos as well. De encargo, people in Mexico, people out here. Been blessed. I've been lucky enough to work with some cool people. But a eso me dedico y pues es un sinfín, you know? It's a never-ending thing.
For sure.
And just trying to lock it in.
Yeah. How did you start making music? Or like what led you to that?
So it kind of goes back a bit. De morro como a los 10 años, I played the cello in like 2 different orchestras.
What's a cello? Isn't that a tololoche?
It's kind of like a tololoche.
Why would you call it a cello? Is it tololoche or no? No?
It's not a tololoche.
What is it? A standing bass, right? That's a cello.
No.
Oh, okay.
So cello's like you sit down and you play it sentado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I played the cello. And I was probably
Does it have una cosa así? Oh, yeah. Yes, I already.
So did that for like 7 years. Y pues de morro, ¿quién quiere andar tocando el cello, you know?
It's not very sexy instrument.
It's not sexy, like, it's not hot.
It's not hot, right?
So I was like, I gotta go to middle school. So that was, de ahí para adelante. Middle school, I didn't really do music. High school, tampoco. Ya en high school, out of high school, sí me empecé a meter a lo que es la cantada, lo que es la música. La farándula no, pero la cantada sí.
¿Y quién te inspiró? Así como, ¿a quién te basabas a la cantada?
Mi padre cantaba.
Yeah.
And his mom cantaba, so I didn't like it, but
around
the house, you know, he's doing it, and he's like, play the guitar. So I'll play the guitar. And de ahí para adelante, and I took it a little too serious, you know, and here we are, like 10 years later, nomás haciendo desmadres con mis compas aquí.
Yeah. Tell me like your journey, or you said you've been blessed enough to work with people, and like what's been like the most impactful thing you would say?
Impactful, para mí se me hizo bien chido. Trabajar con Lenin Ramírez estuvo bien perro. So trabajar con Lenin Ramírez en un video en vivo, and like it was more. It's not even about like. I just love music, so it's like having both of our teams back in the day like link up in like in an hour and just like we're about to do this song, and like esto, like his musicals are fire, you know. My Danny Boy, like shout out Danny Boy, like he, pues es una verga. So it was so easy, and the combination was just so fire, and like we did it live, and it was like nothing happened, and we all left our separate ways, and
it was like
it's
perfect.
Just like, you know, that's a magical moment. You're like,
wow,
like I experienced that, you know. But you can't really you can't think about it in the moment because you're like working.
Can't get too juiced up.
Can't get too juiced. Can't show that juice face. You gotta lock in sometimes. But that was cool. And just a little special shout out. También hice una con el Filthy Rich. Estuvo bien perra esa.
No way,
Esa,
that's tight.
esa estuvo perra. Pero, pues it's two different genres and two different experiences.
So you were a vocalist for Filthy Rich on the song? Or were
Yeah, so my old group, Los de la Nueve, and shout out my old stuff, my old Danny Boy, más que nada. We just did like a little rap fusion with the Mexican.
Oh, that's tight.
Like a few years back. Estuvo bien perro.
That's tight.
Yeah.
I never heard it. Voy a tener que escuchar.
Te la recomiendo.
Yeah.
Big Felipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to that.
That was cool. Yeah. That kind of spoke to me a lot. Like, okay, things are possible. You know, we can make things happen out here. And de ahí para adelante. No more record label though, but aquí andamos.
Aquí andamos.
Yeah.
And would you say that you've had like a positive experience within the music? Porque cuando hablo, okay, this is the thing.
Yeah.
I realized that I need like real yappers on my show. Like you need to be able to talk. Like I can't sit here and be like all dead. So or like try to like pry the person, you know? So I actually called Imix on the phone last night and I was probing him to see if he's like if he's gonna do well.
No.
You felt the pressure, huh?
Yeah, just
he was like, oh man, I gotta really put it on.
Yeah, I was just like have, genuine conversation.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I needed to probe him. And I feel like when we speak about your experience, te siento así como dolidos a little bit. Or like you're ready for a new start, you know?
Yeah.
So it's in my nature. I'm gonna keep probing you until you start talking. He's like,
la palabra probe, like.
Oh, probe,
está muy como, I'm probing you. Like.
No. Okay.
Sí,
but
claro.
you know what I mean. I don't mean to pry, but I kind of do because that's kind of the point, you know.
I'd love to.
So, como te digo, I feel like you're a little no dolido así como majorly, but I feel like you have. Like there's a certain somber tone when it comes to when you speak about like
music
your experience, and like a lot of our conversation last night was like of that, and I really wanted to maybe you can talk about that.
Claro. Well, I would just say, obviously everybody's experience is different in the music. Some people get lucky really early and they pop off really early. There's people that work really like long periods of time towards their goal, and I think that's just where I'm at, where I've just been working for so long, and I'm happy. I'm very proud of my work, but es un sin fin, and you're just like, you get to a point where you're like, man, like I don't want to have a company behind, or like no quiero que me inviertan, pero lo que es el negocio sometimes it won't let, like, you gotta have connects, you gotta have a little bit, like, you gotta invest in yourself, you gotta have the bread to put it in, like, o sea, todo es un proceso, y lo que he visto, and coming back to, like, the main point is, like, I just realized I like making music, like, the industry's cool, and it's all business,
For
business,
sure.
Pues uno de joven, vas con la intención de pegar y pues hacer cosas chidas, y pues hacer cosas chidas, sí, pues quién sabe, a lo mejor sí pegué de una forma o de otra, and I don't know, like I never realized it, or like never took that in, but like I did 3 years in a record label, and that was cool. So you do like a trade-off, like I'll give you my work, but for the fame, it's kind of where we're coming from. But como te dije ayer, like you kind of come to a point where shit gets real, and y pues a ellos no les importa, they don't care about your real life. You're like, what's going on?
Did you have like a point where you're like, damn, shit's getting real, and like I don't have the support that I need, or like?
Yeah, just like family, losing a family member, and you're like, I got my team, and you really don't, that's like, that hits you a little different, like, fuck. Like, all these years, like, it makes you, sorry to cut you off, it makes you, like, realize who is who, and what they want, and you move along, you take it in, you take the punches, and you progress. Those are the things that make you move along, like,
exactly,
like, damn, like, that shit was, like, rough, fuck that, like, pero estuvo chido. ¿para qué me quejo? O sea, no me quejo, pero sí está medio pasadito, pues.
I mean, es como cuando trabajas un trabajo like 9 to 5, you know?
Sí,
And
también.
then there's like, I mean, se oye feo, but like you're a replaceable like part of the puzzle. I feel
Sí,
like
claro.
it's working 9 to 5, and I think sometimes wherever you start a new job, it's so important to know like these people are not your family, these people are not your friends. Like if once money gets involved, once there's a contract,
it's a whole nother
once
ball
you're
game.
like handing over rights to something or you're turning in work, like
Sí.
that interaction kind of, I think we all should know, right, that there's a sense of like algo cortante or cold about that.
Sí.
And then you go into it with that. But I think when you're in a situation like a label, you would assume that that's your family, right? Because you're working on your passion together.
Claro.
So did you feel like disappointed at some point?
I felt a little betrayed.
Betrayed,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not.
¿Qué te hicieron? A ver, pues, suelta,
No,
güey.
pues,
He's like, oh,
suelta la
something
sopa.
happened.
Pues nada, like, you know, like, let's just say, like, just put yourself in my shoes. Like, let's just say you've been working for this label for 3 years. You never came to an agreement. Like, you came to an agreement and they never came through, but you're still working. And, you know, it comes to a point where you just kind of, like, break it off. Pero, like, ¿cómo te sentirías tú si fallece tu mamá o tu papá y te deben feria? Y nunca te la han pagado, and you're like, pues, this is my family, you know? Like, and you just want to hold on to that, but it's not, you know? So that shit, you're like, verga, like, they don't really give a fuck, like.
In your toughest moment, right?
Yeah, like,
That's
toughest moment, like, your first test in life where you're like, verga, like, who's really about to, like, go. But at the end of the day, you can only go through it by yourself.
I mean, that's also a blessing, right? Because then you get to, like, kind of sift out.
In a sense.
Right?
It's like a blessing and a curse, you know?
Definitely more
you
of a
suffer,
curse.
You sufres para merecer, diría.
Amen.
Sí.
See, that's exactly.
Sí. I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
I can agree.
So now what I'm getting from, like, speaking with you, he's a cryptic man. Like, like, I kind of understand. No te creas.
Sí, no, a veces yo me vuelo, yo no me voy por mis rumbos.
I told him I was going to troll him, so ya viene prevenido el muchacho. So what I'm getting is you're looking to, like, for a, kind of to build, like, a foundation for a new artistry. I mean, have you ever considered, like, cuando trabajas con tu disquera, do you have the same name or what? Like, did you do a rebrand?
No, I just, me agarré mi nombre, Imix, y lo agarré como opportunity to. I feel like I've always had the leverage in my career, in a sense. That's what kind of hurt me. I was like, damn, these motherfuckers ain't respect my leverage. But now I'm like, I'm still him, you know, in a sense.
You would say your leverage is from your talent or like the
Un
amount
poquito
of
de
time?
todo, just los años, las conexiones. Like, I'm blessed. Like, I don't take it for granted. Like, la neta, like, tengo conexiones que, like, shout out con papi, like, thanks to that fool, like, I probably wouldn't be writing for artists and stuff. Or just certain people where I'm like, I wouldn't be here, you know? So I don't take it for granted, but I've been very lucky, just be connected, but estoy en un punto donde I just gotta do it by myself, you know?
For sure.
Like, nadie más, ni aunque tengas amigos, artistas, like, ellos no te van a sacar del apuro.
For sure.
You know? That's kind of where I'm at with everything.
That's a valuable lesson to learn. Not just in business, just like in general, you know, with like, you just never know. I mean, on both ends, right? Because you don't know what. Damn, that's really loud.
He's slapping though, he's slapping.
For real, it feels like it's like right there.
For real.
I was gonna. What were you saying? Sorry.
Just the foundation, like if I wanted to start a new foundation.
Yeah.
In a sense, yeah, you know, and I think I've started it. It's been about like 2-3 years. I dropped my first album not too long ago. If y'all want to check it out,
Amen.
Abel on todas las plataformas. I want to give a special shout out to mi compa Eddie Chapo por ahí. Que,
shout out Eddie Chapo.
Shout out al viejo. Just recently, not too long ago, pues ya unos mesecitos, got distribution deal with Empire and just trying to do my thing, trying to plan correctly because todo es planear aquí. Like,
of course.
O sea, puedes tener 10,000 rolas, pero si no las planeas bien, it's just like.
Shout out Jay, because he understands that the admin is like 80%
Shout out mi compa Jay.
of the shit, right? He can tell you like 80% of anything is the admin and the organization and like putting in. I feel like that's the least glamorous part.
Gotcha.
Right? But it's like the best thing to have like set and perfected. I can speak for that because I do admin. Like that's honestly, I feel like admin is my passion. So when people acknowledge that admin is important, I'm like, yes, finally you guys are.
Sí, ¿no?
Porque los artistas les vale madre.
Sí,
Bro,
la neta,
los
sí,
artistas,
sí,
oh my God.
No se dan cuenta todo el trabajo que la gente random do for.
I be telling Jay, like, I wish I could sing and write the music and play the instruments my damn self because then everything would be like
on point.
Smooth sailing, you know? So the fact that you can recognize that is really important. I think that's like the first step. And that leads me into my next thing because yesterday we were talking about being active on social media and like having a presence on social media, connecting with like your fans
Claro.
and like your supporters on there. And you did mention to me that you're not very active on social media or that's not really like your interest. So why don't you tell me about that? Like,
yeah. Like, why am I not dancing on TikTok?
Yeah, why are you not dancing on TikTok, doing the trends? What's the one that's like, give me my money?
Mi compa Gio and I have a few dances por ahí.
You do?
Nah, I wish.
That's like the new Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio right there, the combo.
Yeah, who knows? No, pues, I just always been like I've just always liked to work at private parties and
that part.
I love singing for hours and waking up like 4 a.m. You're still going and like start the day before. I love privadas. So like, that's not where I was. Those aren't my roots. I guess you could say. I'm not here like, you know, trying to hit a wall and shit. Like, I just like to play. I love to sing, and then I love to make music. So
that makes sense.
Pues, like, de tanto año, like I realized like you don't need to. Well, maybe now you do. Mm-hmm. Now you do. I feel like it's like you have to. But when I was kind of like doing my thing, like with the old stuff, no se ocupaba tanto. O sea, no se ocupa tanto de eso para sacar buena música, pues.
Pero ¿quién la va a oír si no
pues es que es pura conexión, es el negocio, o sea, vas con la intención de que, you know, you're going to place your music somewhere. You're not going like, hopefully they listen to it.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's nicer when you have a label and a platform.
Well, platform, yes, I agree.
That's doing the work. Because I've also had experiences with, like, working in a label. I know that the like you said, is like the trade-off, right? Because they're doing that part of the load and you don't even have to worry about it. I mean, so that makes sense. I guess it's like in true artist form that you don't give a fuck. Because most of the most talented artists I know that are not like so much of a performing artist, I think it takes... We had this conversation last night, like even being a peer, this is performance. Like we have to, you know, present a certain way and like project your voice a certain way. So I feel like an artist that's like super locked in doesn't give a fuck about like being on TikTok. You know, they just want to play the music.
But, you know, the trade-off is, you know, it's the new way of doing it.
Right.
So
now, and now like literally TikTok is a label. Like,
you're not
your Instagram,
wrong. Like they run shit.
Literally, like TikTok is a label. Getting on Instagram and like really posting is a label. Something I'm really proud of, and not to like stray away from our conversation, but Porte Blindado is on my...
Shout out Porte Blindado.
Big shout out Porte Blindado is on my feed like 15 times a day.
They're good.
Like
I respect their...
15 times a day. Like I can't scroll for longer than 5 minutes without seeing like a Porte Blindado post, whether it's on my story or like story post or like feed post. And I feel like people are famous because you see them everywhere.
Yeah, that is very true. That's like, how it works.
Exactly.
Usually. Honestly.
And if in order to see somebody all the time, somebody has to be posting them, or they just have to be posting all the time.
Claro.
So that's, like you said, that's the trade-off of
social media. Kind of putting on that. Yo diría que I'm just trying to build a fan base.
Yeah.
You know, like my own fan base. Porque es muy fácil meterse a las redes y pues no todo el mundo es tu fan, pues. You know,
Oh, of course.
And that's kind of the thing now.
That's like, part of I know. That's like it comes with the territory.
You gotta get.
Yeah, of course.
I get that, and I don't mind that. I just feel like they could criticize my music. You know, like go on my YouTube and go comment some shit like vale verga. You know, I don't care.
Yeah.
But like, just nunca fue mi interés. You know, like I just been a la mejor más low key, like in the background, like. Si me conoces, cool, you know. Si no, pues.
I think that's too like
luego, you know,
the nature of your work too, right?
Claro,
like you're a
claro.
songwriter, so like
Sí.
you're not like the face of that.
Sí. Nunca me ha aventado así bien. Pues ahorita sí, pero igual nunca me ha importado así tanto la fama que digas. Like, he hecho cosas chidas. I'm proud. Like, ahora lo que viene, you know.
I'm sorry.
Ahora lo que viene.
Ahora lo que viene, yeah. Ahora para ser famoso, ahora sí doing some TikTok dances.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably get one started, you know? Fuck it. Caile podcast, a little TikTok run.
Yeah, let's do it for sure. I've been inviting people to do content. I want to do skits, you know, and like funny stuff.
I'm trying to do skits, pero avísame para preparar, you know?
Yeah, so you can get your moves down.
Not even moves, but if I got an angle, like...
Because I got to loosen up my hips a little bit. So tell me about, a mí me interesa mucho eso de las privadas.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm Mexican. Saludo a toda mi linda gente de México.
Toda la raza mexicana.
Toda la raza mexicana, the best people in the world.
Yeah, sure.
But I've never lived in Mexico. And I'm very much an American person. Like I'm very much a Mexican-American person because I was born in Mexico y toda la cultura mexicana la traigo y hablo en español. Y todo, pero, y como Chile y todo eso.
Todo.
Pero yo nunca he vivido en México, entonces nunca he experimentado cómo funcionan las cosas. And I know that privadas, obviously, like, you said in Mexico, right?
Me ha tocado una boda, and the next day I did a private, and that was lit. I ain't gonna lie. In Tijuana.
Tell me, like, crazy shit that happens in the privadas. I need to know.
I could tell you two different stories, and one of them is like a privada one. And like, I'm gonna be honest, in privadas in Mexico, very respectful. They're not wild. They're not wilding. They care for your safety, which is amazing. And because you go to Tijuana, and you're like, I'm gonna die here. I'm sorry.
No way.
like it's sketchy out there, and you're putting your hands in the lives of others, and you don't know. So the privada was amazing. The wedding was amazing. Los Canelos de Durango Jr. were there. Like sick Mexican groups. Estuvo mi perra. That didn't end till like 6 a.m. But like I said, very respectful. The next day, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous. Wanted to head out, but they're like, "Where you at?" I'm like, "I'm out here." So I pulled up, played 2-3 hours, very respectful. They paid for my stuff. That was cool. But the one sketchy stuff that I am going to say, I went to go shoot a music video out there. And I recall walking through the border, and this was my old team. We pulled up we get off you walk down from, cruzas la frontera, baja las escaleras, y nosotros pues maletas, Llegan a van. Sorry, it was like a Chevy or no sé qué chingado, pulls up, guns blazing, took our maletas, put it inside, like, get in. We're like, get it, we out, dude. Like, I'm gone. So we chill in the back of the van, like.
They just picked you guys up?
Yeah, like, we out. But it was part of, like, the entourage of the other side, and, like, shout out homies por allá. But like that's our safety, and like we depend on it. So it just, in a way, it felt kind of like a movie, but then in a way, it felt like
scary.
A little scary.
Because
like,
then what if they did? ¿Qué tal si nunca bajas de ese carro?
Exactly. That's kind of what you think about. So
that's crazy.
In a sense, that's probably the sketchiest thing that has happened in Mexico. Acá, pues.
Why do you say that they're? Do you feel like in the U.S. they don't like look out for your safety or what?
In a sense, nah, because like acá it's just too different. Like acá it's raza, allá it's like it's negocio, like it's people that are like running businesses. Like
okay.
Steep business. Acá they're more like hood, you got the hood in them. No sé cómo explicártelo.
Yeah, like it's not formal. They're not like checking for guns. Or what?
No, guns are always involved.
It's like, no, there's
Sadly,
guns there.
sadly. No, it's nothing different. I think just people out here act out a little more. They're not as respectful as like. Probably, yeah. Like, yeah, I would say so. And it just depends who you're working with. Like, there's regular parties where everything's chill. There's parties where you're annoyed, where you're like, dude, I'm trying to go home. There's parties where you're like,
Why do you get annoyed? You don't have a good time sometimes?
I do, but most of the time I do, and I'm super hard to piss off. So like, pa que te piquen la cresta, or like you're like, I'm done. Like, it's so rare, and I don't think it's ever happened. But sí me ha tocado where it's like, yo, like, back up.
Why? Because they're
Están
too drunk?
Están
Oh,
pedos,
yeah.
they're trying to enjoy the party. Es parte de trabajar en fiestas privadas.
You don't get drunk?
Not as much. I'll get a little tipsy, but I usually got to drive home, so
Okay,
responsible.
yeah. Responsible drinking.
Don't drink and drive. But yeah, gracias a Dios no me ha tocado así una, like, there's been gunshots, there's been all that, but like where I'm like, damn, that was really close.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this. Gracias a Dios, no.
No te ha pasado
No
nada.
me ha pasado.
That's good.
But,
That's good. Thank God.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you feel about, like, on that note,
Yeah.
is like the violence in the Mexican music? Today I actually watched this YouTube video and it was like a white guy. And he was talking about, like, como tú dices, corridos de encargo. And basically his whole shit was that the cartel has like a huge grip on Mexican music. And they haven't been able to regulate it because the people who make those regulations here in the U.S. don't speak Spanish. So they don't even know what the music is about. So it's been very unregulated here.
Just straight filtering through.
They don't even like check it for that type of stuff. But I know in Mexico, like, AR always tells us, like, he's been one of the only people that I know personally that he says how you can't play certain music in Mexico. And he was telling us, like, it's a privilege here because you can play whatever you want.
Yeah.
But then when you go to Mexico, there's like certain songs you don't play and stuff like. So I don't know nothing about that. Literally, I was learning my news from a white guy, which is really embarrassing. But I feel like he broke it down like a way that I could understand, Because I watch the videos sometimes here, and I'm just like, bro, as soon as I hear gunshots or like, andan así with the bulletproof and they start cursing on the radio, I just tune out. I'm like, no, this is too much for me. So I wanted to learn about it. So if you could tell me, like, if in your own experience or maybe your opinion on like the violence and cómo manejan todo eso.
I would just say it just gets very real. Like, AR's right, like, we're very privileged, yeah, it's like you don't know who you're playing for half the time. Like, they won't say who they are unless you tell obvious, like, better. But in my case, they didn't really care. But let's just say you were kind of more like let's just say you play more often for those people, then it could be like, don't sing this, don't sing that.
Oh, yeah. Then
like,
they put kind of like a claim on the musicals. Yeah.
Usually, they're good, though. Usually. Pero la violencia, like I said, it can get real. Like, let's just say you're really involved and, like, money involved and...
¿A ti no te ha tocado nada de eso since you do corridos de encargo?
No.
I mean, inherently, that shit is violent.
No, like, I do... It's just the way you do things. It's how you move and, like, you gotta... Let's just say you le haces un corrido a alguien and they're like, yo, slide, te invito a esto. It's like, are you really their homie or that you're not?
Oh, yeah,
you know? Like, are you gonna go or not? And that's
where
you're like...
show up?
You're like, do I want to do this for real? Like, is like corrido de encargo worth it?
Yeah.
But, no, they're very respectful. They're human beings at the end of the day.
Of course.
They
Definitely.
just have a different business and usually, like you said, it ties back to the music, so it's easy to navigate. It's easy to, like...
Yeah.
Some certain connections. Sometimes it's not healthy to reach out to certain connections like that.
It's like not safe.
Yeah, like, wow, you could just do it another way.
Yeah.
Like, but let's just say you've been doing it for a while and, like, you have your customers. You have your customers.
Right.
And they're like, yo, corrido. Or completo, etc.
How do you feel about like the content of the music recent? Because I always
Content, like los videos?
no, like the content of the music itself, like because
sí,
antes
sí, sí.
cuando era like Los Tucanes de Tijuana, right?
Claro,
Vivo
claro.
Tres Animales, like that was the or 500 balazos. You know,
Sí,
it's
sí,
like
sí, sí.
it was hard ass songs. And
Yeah.
even when like Peso
You're
Pluma first
right.
came out, he did what was the song? It was like about meth, like something, and then he was PRC. And then it was like these super hard, like
The hard
el de la
lyrics.
codeína and all that shit,
Sí.
right? And then now it's like reggaeton music. I listened to the Fuerza Regida album like today earlier, because Chuy's like, oh, it sounds like this is something you would like. Bro, I did not like that shit. That album is so freaky. Like, I feel like I'm listening to Bad Bunny.
It's house music, right?
Like, if I want to listen to that, I would just play Young Miko, because I love Young Miko. I love reggaeton music. If Bad Bunny is doing it, or if Young Miko, my favorite reggaeton artist, is doing it, I don't want to hear Fuerza Regida talk about fucking girls and a fat ass. Like, I want to hear him talk about drugs and going to work and smoking weed and shooting guns and doing cocaine and wearing boots. Like,
the good stuff.
the good stuff, the motivating shit.
The motivating stuff.
So
in every setting.
What you said? What?
In every setting.
In every setting, right?
Yes, yes.
And I talked about this with other musicals, and they're like, the girls love it. Like the girls love the freaky music.
It's
and
like
I'm
hip hop. It's like pop. Like, you know, the romantic stuff. What are they talking about? Like, you know.
I mean, there's a romantic, because Mexicans are very respectful. Let's be honest. Like Vicente Fernandez, Pepe Aguilar. Like back in the day, it was like the romantic music was like so heartfelt. It was very respectful. They didn't use, literally growing up in my grandma's house, they wouldn't even say piernas. They would say con las que te sientas, or con las que caminas. And then they wouldn't even say, like, they would never say like ass or butt. You know, they would say like other words, because Mexican people are like very respectful.
What's another word you use for butt out there?
Las sentaderas.
Sentaderas?
That's how old people say it, huh?
Sentadera?
Las sentaderas, like old people, because they don't use like vulgar terms. And I feel like over time, obviously, like us.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of butt in on that. Back then, there were some pretty bad, like, old school songs.
But they had a double entendre.
No, like voy llegando, mete el caballo and like fix me up some tortillas type shit. I swear, there's songs like that. No, yeah, and like slapped her, like old music, like
what? I
like,
never
you know how
heard that.
Well, you know, in the Mexican households, in the ranchos, like,
oh, for sure,
you know, like that's. I mean, not anymore, and esa generación ya no existe probably.
Hopefully,
you know, shout out my grandparents, they're still out here, but you know, that's probably like some of the. But either way, they're a little wild. No creas. Like, see, if you look deep, like there's some pretty like.
I know there's songs like, you know that song that's like y el pasto se movía, and then they're just like fucking in the woods. Like the whole song is about fucking in the woods. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So I know there's songs like that where it's like like double entendre, because they were so respectful, and you know, like the culture is different. Yeah. But going back to our like initial point, how do you feel? Like, what's your opinion on like all this like freaky regional like house blend? Are you?
Yeah.
Is that your new
the
next
house
hit?
blend? No, I'm not sure about the whole like.
Or like the EDM.
Nah.
No te gusta.
You know, I see Luis R. Enriquez doing like, ¿Cómo te explico? Like saying stuff like that. You're like.
That's so embarrassing.
Verga, you know, like, okay, we'll take it. So I don't want to do that, you know. That's kind of.
We're not gonna hear you with your Puerto Rican accent on the next
you
track.
You ain't getting no Puerto Rican accent. That's kind of what's going on, though.
Yeah,
like,
okay, I get on everybody.
But honestly, you listen to it, you're like, this is kind of catchy. Like,
I mean, it's good.
It got me.
It's commercial music. It's gonna be good, but.
Yeah. But overall, no me gusta lo que es. Like, if they force it on an album and you're like regional, something's going on, you know, like maybe you didn't have enough songs for the album or some shit, and that's okay.
They kept the album short. No,
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
kidding.
all corridos or some shit. Nah, but está medio interesante. Ahorita sí está como, like, in one song, you could get a corrido and a romántica, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I feel like is going on. So it's kind of cool. It's different. I feel like it needs to change soon. Something has to change soon.
Well, I think it's cumbias. I think cumbias is
Cumbia's
next.
been hitting.
That's what I think. And I feel like I have a good ear for that type of stuff. Like, I think cumbia is next.
Pero ya tienen años, ¿no?
Pero
Pegándola.
están saliendo nuevos
Sí,
como
sí.
Yair Saldívar,
yeah.
and then the
They're
other.
doing sick, though.
He's so tight,
doing
man.
sick, yeah.
Yair Saldívar, if you're watching this, which I hope one day you'll see me, Caile. I would love to talk with him. You know, he has a crush on Belinda. Is my favorite part about him. It's like my favorite part about him. He every time they ask him like his celebrity crush, he says Belinda? Which is hilarious.
She
like,
gotta know. Belinda,
of course she
ya
does.
sabes.
Belinda's on TikTok. All these
Yeah.
bitches is on TikTok.
For sure,
All these
for sure.
famous people is on TikTok. But yeah, I think cumbias is nice. Would you do a cumbia?
Yeah,
Come on.
I probably would do a cumbia.
I think that would be perfect. I think that should be your next.
Hopefully it doesn't bang off, though. I'm just kidding.
He's like el cumbiero sonidero.
Like, they're gonna have me like, when's your next cumbia, dog? Like, nah, I don't know. If that's the plan, then
I love that. I think
that's
when Max Perry was here, I told him my first CD I ever bought was Ángeles Azules. Ooh. Like with my own money, I got $20 for my birthday, and I would go get a CD, and it was Ángeles Azules was my first CD I bought.
What CD shop did you go to?
I went to this place in South City where I used to live.
Oh, okay.
I think it was like on Hillside. But there was Discolandia. I used to always go to Discolandia too in Mission Street back in the day.
Oh,
like real music heads, they remember Discolandia. That's where I bought my Britney Spears CD.
There was this store on like 21st and Mission that used to be like, they used to have hella CDs right there. It might be that one.
Might be it. I think that
it
is on
used to have
21st
a different name?
Isn't it Discolandia?
I think it was like before Discolandia, it was like something else. Or I could be wrong. But I remember when I was a little kid, I bought a WWE CD there.
A CD, the soundtrack?
The soundtracks. Because like Rey Mysterio, you know, 619 shit. You're like, man, I got hell yeah. Like, this is my shit. But
that's tight.
But that's probably the only CD.
You would play your cello along to it?
Just like, dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Bien sentadito el niño ahí con su cello tocando el WWE soundtrack.
My mom's proud. You know?
You make your mom proud,
yeah,
huh?
Like, ese disco.
That's tight.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to listening to your project.
Thank you.
You said that you have... ¿Ya salió el disco?
Sí, entonces saqué un disco en... ¿Puedo estar aquí? ¿Febrero? ¿Marzo?
Okay.
Pero that was my first album as myself, and it took about 2 years to put together.
Oh wow!
But it was a journey in itself. Like me fui a Sonora with some of my really best friends, close friends, and they've taken me under their wing and just made music out there. ¿Cómo te explico? Shout out Carlos Ulises and mi compa Iván Torres allá hasta Sonora.
Shout out Sonora.
They play for Fantasma.
Oh,
they're the musicians, and they've been in the music for how long, and he's legendary in itself in the music game. So he took me under his wing. It's like, you have good music, like I'll produce for you. I was like, oh, sick. And I stayed in Sonora for like a month, like in his house. Like,
how was that?
It was a blessing. It's so cool because like I'm a fan, you know.
Yeah, of course. That's crazy. Like being able to stay in that person's house. What if you clogged their toilet? What was that?
We shall not speak on that.
Imagine. He's like, what have you heard? How do you know about that?
You know that? He told you? Nah. But that was really sick, and like his family and just his friends out there, like you could tell that he chooses his friends very wisely.
That's
and
tight.
That's like, man.
Y andabas tú entre la bola.
Ahí nomás. Y pues en esos tiempos andaba mal, you know, like life ain't always good, you know. So just to have like that push is like
that experience.
Sick. Yeah, and the experience and just the welcome, like, hey, whenever you want. Like I was like, bro.
That's so cool. Yeah. That's such a cool experience.
Muy chido, la verdad. Y pues de ahí, like, when a Fantasma's house, like, you know, you're like, why am I here? Like, what am I doing
That's
here?
crazy. Like, just seeing someone all the time and now you're in their house. That's crazy.
It was a blessing. Estuvo muy perro. Pero, ¿qué me preguntaste?
Yeah, about your album.
Sí, mi álbum. Para que lo chequen, por favor, si se puede.
Yeah, of course.
Adele, I just dropped a single on my YouTube called Labio Rojos Fresita, para que lo chequen. It's on my channel or my Instagram, lo que quieras. Y, yeah, I'm working on a second album, lo que es una, like, puras románticas, and I've been wanting to do that for years, so that's kind of going on. Y a ver qué, you know, the whole distribution with Empire, a ver si
da ahí.
A ver qué.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, it's good porque se oye que ya estás super experienced and you have, you've had your trials and tribulations, so you always come out better from those things.
Sí.
Would you say like making music for you is challenging at times? Like que te salga la letra or like to perform, you know?
Hay meses donde no escribo nada, where I'm like playing video games, you know?
Yeah.
Like my mind does no divaga para allá. But then there's days, like a week, where I'm like, I wrote like 7 songs. I'm like,
dang.
And like they're all sick. Like, but in this, like, a veces you can't record all 7. Like, you have to either pick and choose or which one you really want to invest in, and like, it's a lot.
¿Qué te inspira, like to write?
¿Sabe? Yo diría que ya un poquito de lo que es secondhand nature of like, saying like, just an example, like, me gustas mucho. And then you add like a verb. Like, it's kind of like a
okay.
La ciencia to writing. You know, you're like, I'm add on to this. And like, let's say you started sad, but you just ended sad. You know, you can't be like happy and then mid-song you're like, but I love you. Hey, you can do whatever you want.
I mean, but I know what you mean. Like continuity.
Like, this is a format like that I try to follow. But así me inspira. A veces que sí pasan cosas. You know, heartbreaks.
I know. I was just gonna ask you that. Like, your romántica is a despecho or what? Somebody broke your heart?
Hace muchos años, pero ¿para qué? ¿Para qué nos metemos ahí? No.
¿Qué te hicieron? A ver. What was like the breaking point for you where you were like, cut the camera? No.
Nada, pues la vida, you know. A veces no cuadra el asunto y tú si quieres
like, te estoy hablando a ti, ingrata.
Por si lo ves, cabrón. Nah, but then you, like I said, you kind of learn to like just do it as a job. Like, I want this song to go viral, or like I want this song for this artist. Like, that's kind of like a que le tiro, like the feeling.
But
like,
now it's your song.
Now it's mine. So now I'm trying to like really get that out of me and just like the romantic side of me.
Now you have to use your own experience. A ver, and what?
Trying to get me to cry.
I know right now, huh? Do you have a girlfriend now?
Nah, I'm chilling.
No girlfriend?
No girlfriend.
Are you looking?
In a sense, you know, like you.
What's like your ideal? Like ideally. Because I know, like, being an artist and looking for a partner is hard.
Sí, está muy difícil.
You know?
Pues mira, different musicians and artists, whatever you want to call it, like, navigate the relationships differently. Like I said, I've always been really low-key, so I've always liked to keep my stuff low-key. But igual yo no quiero... I take everything into consideration because, like, you got, like, your future. Like, not waste anybody's time, you know? Like, I'm not trying to waste my time. I'm not trying to waste anybody's time, so I'll just be honest. Y no me ha salido la que dice, te voy a hacer unas tortillas en la mañana, like...
Porque te están esperando que tú hagas las tortillas,
I can make them.
It's a new world.
Yo las hago.
Okay, ya ofreció tortillas el muchacho, okay? If you like tortillas in the morning, Imix, he's looking for a girlfriend.
Pero hay que un trade-off, you know? We're like... It's not even that. It's not even just that. No.
She makes the breakfast tortillas and you make the dinner tortillas and then you trade off.
What's up? Nah.
What's up?
I would just say, like, not really about that. It's just kind of like the future. Like, like comprar una casa. Like, yo no quiero que mis chamacos anden ahí nomás vagando. So I want to get a house. Y si un día no sirve, pues no quiero que me digan, like, los niños, like, where do I go live, you know?
So like, you want to have, like, a wife and kids and a house and everything.
Of course. Of course. But, like...
That's the plan.
Quiero que estén bien, pues.
Right.
Like, ahorita me estoy sacrificando yo para que luego haya un poquito de algo, you know? For my kids, for my wife, or whatever. Lo que sea la situación. Or for myself, más que nada. Like,
for
I'm
sure.
not...
Of course.
You know, I want whoever to be with me to be good. Like, that's kind of the goal.
Would you want your wife to work outside of the home?
If I got it like that, no.
Okay.
Like, she don't gotta be out.
Probably wait, till you got it like that?
Honestly, it's just like,
Isn't
what?
that the goal?
And not got it like that, because I could go to McDonald's and she better be cool with it, you know? Like, no joke, but like...
She better.
Like, even now, like, it's not even about that. It's just like, I'm looking out for me, no quiero lastimar a nadie on the way there, you know? So I'd rather just, like, focus for a bit. And
would you want to date another artist like yourself? Belinda? Just
depends who it is.
Depends who it is?
Yeah, it depends who it is, you know? Because that's probably not going to go well. Like, a la larga, like...
Who's your celebrity crush?
Casen, like...
Who's your celebrity crush?
Fuck. So I just saw the show called Shogun. And...
What is it?
Shogun.
Shogun?
Es un show japonés.
Oh, yeah.
Y está guapa la japonesa.
¿Te gusta la japonesa?
Like, her se llama Anna Sawai, pero es un actor, es una actriz, sorry.
That's your celebrity crush?
No la conozco, no la, you know.
He's the president of the fan club.
Yes.
He's the president of the Shogun celebrity fan club. No, okay. Le gusta la muchacha japonesa, wow.
Nah, I just like regular people. Like, at a coffee shop, you know.
At a coffee shop?
Or something like that.
He's not online, so, like, you can't really, slide in the DMs. He probably is not going to slide in your DMs.
Like, I love to perform, and I love to, like, do all this stuff, but, like, yo no soy bien parrandero, así, like, vamos a pistear, so, like, you'll catch me out the way, but, like, that's kind of...
So, not a party girl?
Not a party girl.
Not a party girl.
No me gustan las party girls. I like party, like, y que vayan conmigo, no hay pedo, like, it's cool. Pero para que digas, vamos a ir a pistear hoy, porque vamos a pistear, and you're like, no, like, we could chill, you know? That's usually the case. Tranquilo, pues, yo soy muy tranquilo, yo no ando haciendo panchos. Y me llamo Francisco.
Oh, pues, you don't live up to your name.
No, my name's Imix.
Your name's Imix, no hago panchos.
That's my
period.
thing.
That's your slogan. Yeah, it was so nice talking to you today. I think this, like, so I had so much fun. Should we do, like, the Spitfire questions? Okay.
Spitfire.
I have, like, these questions that I ask people. And you have to, like, just...
What's the word capacity? How many words?
I would say, like, the least amount of words and answer as quickly as you can, okay?
Ooh. Y'all might get some interesting answers here.
Okay.
A ver si me sale un answer, you know?
Let's see. Hold on. I feel like I had questions that I wanted to ask you, but maybe I already asked them.
Take your time. We chilling. Shout out Caile Podcast.
Shout out Caile Podcast.
Compa Imix, aquí andamos promoting, chilling, smoking. Compa Will, behind the camera. Compa J Bands, por ahí.
Okay. You only get 2 chances to elaborate. So out of all these questions, you have to answer yes or no. And you get to pick. You get 2 chances to elaborate. Okay. Okay. Do you flush the toilet with the lid up or down? Gross. Let's see. When you are at the grocery store,
gross. Hey, sometimes I gotta go, you know.
When you're at the
I'm not gonna elaborate, go.
Okay. When you're at the grocery store and you're shopping, and then you put all your groceries in your car, do you take the cart back every time?
To the nearest open, like...
para parquear el carrito? Every time or most of the time? Or?
Yeah, almost every time.
Every time? Okay.
Ni moco le...
Yeah. He throws it.
No.
No. He's like, I swing it against the
Es que ni moco lo deje.
kid.
Yeah, I can't leave it right there, so...
Okay.
I can't get out.
Do you litter?
Yes. I won't elaborate.
Don't elaborate. He litters. Girl, we already know about people like that. Okay. Do you follow your friends' exes on social media after they break up? Like, si tu compa tiene una novia and then quebran, do you still follow the girl after they break up?
I don't follow the girl at all.
Oh, period. Let's go. Now we're cooking. Okay. Do you cuss in front of little kids?
Huh?
Do you cuss in front of little kids?
Depends what kids.
Do you use your car horn often?
No. Unless I'm about to, like, somebody's really about to get hit. Like, then fuck it.
Have you ever catcalled a girl? Like, hey, shh.
No, not.
Whistling. Okay, how do you catcall?
In Mexico, I see.
How do you
I don't catcall.
You don't catcall? Okay, good. Because he's like, not like that. Shh.
I know in Mexico they be doing that.
That's
and
how
I'm
guys be like,
I be
hey,
feeling like, yo, like, chill, fool. Like.
Okay, so he doesn't catcall, but he does flush the toilet with the lid up. So, you know. Do you skip deodorant ever?
No.
Have you ever? Oh, yeah. Do you... how do you feel like you make women safer in your daily life?
By not running them over.
Okay.
I don't know. Like taking care of them. Like what if like
yeah, like
daily life, like my mom.
Any women in your life.
I give my life for my mom. Shout out my mama.
Okay, shout out your mom.
But
okay.
Besides that, pues si están en la calle, pues be careful. You know?
Be careful, yeah.
Yeah, be safe. Be
Make
safe
sure you
out
always
there for
protect
sure.
women and children.
I always protect women and children. Just
Amen.
Get that clear.
Okay. Let's see. I think. Okay, yeah. Do you bring flowers on the first date?
Not all the time.
Not every time?
No.
Are you a jealous lover?
Lover?
Yeah. Like when you have a girlfriend, are you jealous?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Probably.
Fuck yeah?
Not
Wait,
fuck yeah.
elaborate.
Sorry, not fuck yeah. But
this is your chance to elaborate.
No, yeah. like I'll ask like.
Would you beat somebody up if they were hitting on your girl?
Hitting or like they're all up on her, like
if they're like hitting her
if they're se
up,
están pasando, like it's over probably. But
it's
like,
over. Like you pistol whip them, or how far will you take it?
Let's not find out. You know, could get probably a little.
You don't want to
hectic.
know. He might hit you over the head with the cello. Okay.
Hey, that cello's locked and ready, so you know.
Hey, next time te invito, tienes que traer. We have to bring a cello.
Cello.
You have one?
I have a small one, but
Let's
I recorded
go.
with it.
You have to bring it.
Yeah, all right, fuck it.
All right, right?
What are we gonna do with it?
You
We're
said
gonna beat up people over the head with it.
Like, don't try me. Okay. I think that's all.
Sure.
I think that's all the questions. You did pretty good. That's the first time that people do it fast. Yeah, usually people like want to talk.
Got you.
So
can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So what's the whole like toilet lid up, lid down situation? Like the splashes and shit?
Yeah, of course. Like if your toothbrush.
But I'm not even there. Like I've been gone. Like.
He's like, I run out before. Okay, look. I'm gonna tell you why I asked
And
that.
open the window, you know, if we're really talking that deep.
Your toothbrush, I think it can only be like 3 feet away. It'll splash. So if you have a small bathroom, or if there's shit close to your toilet and the lid is up, all the shitty water, even though you just flush,
caca water, no.
is like landing on everything, like on the towels, on the toothbrush. So I feel like it's very important that we close the lid and then you flush.
Do girls like it when the lid? Like,
just close the whole toilet.
I know,
before
like you leave the lid up. You leave. Let's say you accidentally, you just leave all of it up.
Yeah.
And like I've heard, like girls don't like that. Like why?
What do you mean?
I mean, like.
Like what?
Really? They fall in. So all of it closed.
Everything closed.
You'd rather not fall in?
Just close the toilet. Like leave it. And leave it closed. Leave it better than you found it.
Okay. We learning out here, you know?
Period. See?
Yeah, cool.
You can say you learned. You can say you learned something tonight.
Cool. How you guys feeling tonight? You guys quick. Thank you, really. Thank you.
The weak ass cup. Everyone's like.
It's cool. It's cool.
So yeah, I think that's the interview for today. I had such a good time talking to you. I'm so glad you agreed to come.
Te doy la mano.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
I'm so excited to listen to your project.
Thank you.
I can't wait for the reggaeton album to come out with the cello influence.
Como
you
te
feel me?
explico?
Como te I can't wait for that WWE influence to come through. You feel me?
She wants to see a 619 right here, right now.
You're so funny. But yeah, te invito cuando quieras. Open invitation. You're always welcome back.
Thanks so much.
When we build our new set, I really would love en vivo with you and hear all the heartbreak songs that you're writing.
Sure.
I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, honestly.
Y despídete.
Caile Podcast, nos vemos. It was a pleasure. El tiro, su compa Imix.
See you later. Livianita como picaflor, original, no de remate. Bate como chocolate y sirve sopa de caracol. Sirve sopa de caracol. Sirve sopa de caracol. Muévete en el espejo, muévete en el espejo. Enamórate del reflejo, enamórate del reflejo. Muévete en el espejo, muévete en el espejo. Muévete en el espejo, enamórate del reflejo. No mezclo, vivo aparte. No vivo pa' gustar. Vivo pa' gustarme. No me quiero juntar. Atrevida como Megan, potra como Ivy Queen. De esta medicina no tienes en el botiquín. Cintura de Thalía, caderas de Shakira. El baile más prendido hasta cuando nadie mira. Que me quiere conocer mejor, pues ve y ponte en fila. Soy agua caliente, tu novia es té de manzanilla. Todo a mí me sobra, no me cuesta darte, pero la cita conmigo misma, esa no se comparte. Livianita como picaflor, original, no de remate. Bate como chocolate y sirve sopa de caracol. Sirve sopa de caracol.
You could see her from a mile away, cause she loud.
Muévete en el espejo, muévete en el espejo. Enamórate del reflejo, enamórate del reflejo. Muévete en el espejo, muévete en el espejo. Muévete en el espejo, enamórate del reflejo. Cuando suba la luna y baje el sol, ponle llave a la puerta, pierde el control. Pon a fulanito, es lo mejor. Esta cuarentena entró en calor. La visión más hermosa la veo con lente rosa. Aguacero de sudor, deja la vista borrosa. Sé que eres espirituosa, te tratas como una diosa. Te gusta tu propio olor, que salga lo escandalosa. Pelo largo, uñas largas, el corazón pesado, bien lo cargas. Cargas cuarzos y tiras cartas, las que no te llegan las tienes hartas. El amarte tú misma es costumbre, no conoces a la incertidumbre. Apaga la luz y prende la lumbre. Livianita como picaflor, original, no de remate. Bate como chocolate y sirve sopa de caracol. Sirve sopa de caracol. Sirve sopa de caracol. Muévete en el espejo, muévete en el espejo. Enamórate del reflejo, enamórate del reflejo.